Good morning. My name is Jim, and I'm a veteran service officer for Clinton County. Today, I would like to just have a discussion with you, not anything that has content driven, but other than just personal experience going through this process. First of all, I think I have to give you a little bit of background. I joined the Army in 1990 and I retired in 2017. So, 27 years, 4 tours of combat. Um, I can tell you based on my experience with the military and with the VA how my experience went, and I can give you a perspective from how I was successful. So I retired in 2017, as I stated before, but in 2016 is when I did my claim through the VA, and I did everything myself. I went to the appropriate people. I made sure that I went through my military documents, and I made sure that I did the research on what it took to put a claim in. And what was required were three elements. The first element was an event. The second element would be a current diagnosis, and the third element would be a nexus statement. Your nexus statement can be buddy letters. Your nexus statement can be eyewitness accounts. They can be scholarly documents. They can also be written in the diagnosis, where a medical professional says that my injury or illness was caused due to the fact of this exposure or this event. So I was 100% first time go. My CVSO was in Fort Knox, Kentucky, but I basically did everything for him, just handed it to him, an old Sergeant Major, and he hooked me up, um, which was my first exposure to being a CVSO. And I was like, I want to do that after I retire. That sounds like a good job. Um, but I milled around after retirement and tried other things, but um, it just didn't work out until this job opened up. And then, I think I'm here for the duration. I really love what I do. But today I want to talk about timelines and how they affect your disability, and based on experience, based on what I've seen, and based on what I've gone through. So in 2016, when I put my claim in to the VA, I was still on active duty and I was due to retire until 2017. So they had my information. The BDD did not exist at that time. This is a new the BDD is a new program that came up after I retired. So why that's significant is because when I put my claim in, I had 27 years of military experience, 4 tours of combat, that I could say that all of my problems, illnesses, and injuries were due to the facts of my military service. So think of it as a sliding scale. Um, when I put my claim in, I had a 95 to 100% chance that the VA was going to approve everything, right? Now, let's say that I waited to put my claim in until 2026, and it's now 2017. If I waited in 2000 until 2026, that's life experience that the VA could have said, well, your problems could have been caused by the military, but more than likely, it was probably caused by the fact that you worked at UPS. That's why your back hurts. Or you worked at Airborne Express and was on the flight line, and that's why your hearing is bad. Um, so you can see how timelines and that life experience starts to stack up against you. Um, I'm a straight talker. I'm a straight shooter. I don't sugarcoat anything. I want to put it all on the line based on my experience. So I have helped veterans who have waited to put their claims in until many years later, and they get disapproved. And the reason they get disapproved is because they don't have anything in their records to show that there was a problem while they were in the military. But now, 20, 30 years later, you're saying you have a problem with this. The VA is going to lean towards life experience. You have to have definitive evidence in your records. You have to. And the only way that you're going to know, don't assume that it's there. I've heard it should be there. Um, I'm pretty sure it's there. Make sure it's there. because if you go through what is called the denial spiral, things get ugly and it can be drug on for years. The VA is a business and they're all about money. They're going to do everything they can to make and save money. And that's the bottom line. And they make it very difficult for you to get service connected. In fact, I believe personally that it's probably easier to get food stamps than it is to get veterans benefits, and that's the sad truth. It shouldn't be that way, but that is the sad truth. I mean, calling a spade a spade. But timelines are very important. As you're making your decision on whether you want to do your claims or not, or you're putting it off and you're putting it off and putting it off, realize that you're putting yourself in a worse and worse situation as you go along. If you get out in the 80s and then you try to come and claim benefits in 2026, the VA is going to use that life experience against you. Like I said, unless there's empirical evidence in there in your records. So realize that that's a sliding scale, and that sliding scale is working against you the longer you wait. Um, Going for benefits is a personal decision. There are people out there who believe that I didn't lose an arm, I didn't lose a leg, so there's other people that deserve it more than I do, and I agree. I agree. However, you put the uniform on. You raised your hand. You said, "I will go. I will do that thing. I will. I will serve my country." Um, that in itself warrants you getting disability for your time. It's not your fault that you didn't deploy. Orders are orders. We have no control over those orders. Those orders come from on high. Those orders are set by fate. Um, but you still served. You just need to make sure that everything is in your records before you claim. Um, in another video, I'll talk about the process that I've seen that works best for veterans based on my 4, almost 5 years of experience, um, and the process that doesn't work very well. And I'll give you my opinion on that. But other than that, I just wanted to talk about timelines and how they can affect your claims. Um, just an opinion based off of a service officer who's been doing this for 4 or 5 years. I may be completely wrong, but the experience that I have gone through shows me that there are factors in there that leads me to believe that timelines are a factor and they can impact your ability to get benefits. But that's it for now. See you next time.